right. Hello, my name is Max. I'm from the Manitoban. I'm here with Pritom Hasan. He's performing some music here at the U of M. I have a few questions for you. Well, just going to start off with, I understand you're on tour in Canada and you performed last in Toronto. Just kind of, what was your experience coming through Canada and performing out there?
I think Toronto was amazing. I kind of like the people, the city. The entire vibe was completely different. So we're actually covering United States and Canada. It's a North American tour, and we already have covered a lot of states in United States. Yeah. And this is our second show in Canada, and so far it's going very, very smooth. Especially like the people, the audience. It's very different here.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. To hear that. I mean, Winnipeg is very vibrant amongst its art scene and its music scene and stuff like that. So it's really cool to have a bunch of different cultures and stuff come through. What's kind of been your experience here in Winnipeg?
I think Winnipeg kind of reminds me of my home. And especially I think it's kind of funny because all the you see the big electric lines. It's all in all in the middle of the field, and that kind of reminds me of my home because in Bangladesh we have that, and I always when I was a kid I always used to stare at those things, and it's kind of I don't know, I find it very fascinating, but yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I live outside of Winnipeg, so I'm the same way. I always see the power lines coming in and out of the city whenever.
It's like a stick man, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick man. So
that's awesome. So what would be the most memorable experience you've made so far on this tour?
I think it was in New York. We had an absolute blast there, and it was a sold out show. It's one of its kind. It was one of the first, I think, one of the well organized ticketed show in New York, and it's a very big step. It's a big step for Bangladeshi music communities, Bangladeshi music lovers, because so far we all had a lot of free shows, where people, the Bengali listeners, would just come and just listen to songs, but. With this tour, we want to establish that you should actually support your artist, and it's very, very important for the audience to spend a little bit so that you don't have to rely on the sponsors, and artists can be supported, and we can have bigger shows, and you don't have to buy my ticket. You buy your own favorite artist's ticket. But the idea is to since we did a lot of free shows. But now I think slowly we need to move towards where people are buying tickets and getting that good premium experience. So we're more focused on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I fully agree that people need to support support artists, and especially with artists coming through with like different cultures and stuff. Oh, my favorite artist. I kind of have to go. With my favorite band currently. They're a rock band called Mastodon.
All right, what's their genre?
Kind of like a progressive rock, new rock, that kind of vibe.
New rock. That's kind of interesting because we were a big fan of new metal, which was Linkin Park, but they're making a comeback. We're very, very happy to be here. I hope we can actually catch one of the concerts. That would be a crazy goal. So that's it from our side.
Awesome. Yeah. Speaking of like bringing Bangladeshi music over here, what are you kind of hoping that you can do for like messaging, bringing culture and music from your country over here to Canada?
Yes, I would. First of all, my whole goal and my whole career, I have always focused on our folk and rooted music. Like all the bauls, we call them bauls because they're our folk artists. I always try to promote their music, promote their tunes, and I've always tried my level best to bring them in the front as a singer, and I worked as a music producer in the back. I did a lot of projects, and so far I did a lot of projects, but now that I'm doing a lot of shows, I'm seeing a lot of American people coming up in my shows, and I'm seeing a lot of Canadian people coming in my shows. That's kind of relieving because they actually came saying, "Oh, I heard your song in Coke Studio." That was really interesting for me because so far all the time, every time we go to any sort of concert, we see people talk about Coke Studio India, Coke Studio Pakistan, but now they're paying attention to Coke Studio Bangla. Yeah. So it's a very big I would say like a proud moment for me because I always tried my level best to promote Bangla music and our artists. So it's a very overwhelming experience for me.
That's awesome. And having those kind of like multi-continental now kind of fans and
Yeah, it's a global city. We all are now part of a global citizen. You know, it's music is global now.
yeah, absolutely. I love that sentiment. Final question here. Do you have any for any like young aspiring musicians and artists that look up to you? What do you want to give? What message do you want to give to them?
I think I'm just gonna be very straightforward and honest. If you're looking forward to make a living out of music, make sure you know the balance of the passion and profession, and you need to dial in passion and profession in the right place. You know, being too much professional in few cases is not okay, and also being too passionate about your music is also not okay. I mean, it's kind of fine if you do it for joy, but if you're trying to make a living out of it, make sure you're dialing in properly. You're making that balance so people are listening to you, and you're making your own your own hobbies or your own passion. You're just you're completing it on your own way. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's great advice. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for watching.
Thank you for having me.